Okay, let's talk about England right now. Well, under 20 world champions, under 17 world champions, under 19 Euro champions, and you're just asking, what have they done right? Now, but we just look at the result, what happened in India and Nigeria, well, they were not there. And people were asking some questions. What if they had been there? Would England have had the chance? Because they've never been past the quarterfinals. But they and Spain, 5-2, coming from 2 goes down to win 5-2. Wonderful result. Chinasia is here. Chinasia, good morning. Good to have you.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tai. Hi, guys.
Good morning, Chinasia.
Wonderful.
How do you describe this level of success and that has come England's way at the youth level, under 20, under 17, and should we say Russia 2018, they should start
the thing for me with England, you know, it was funny because a while ago, English people were complaining about the fact that foreigners were coming into their league, taking over and everything. But the funny thing is that this is the effect it has had on the players, because the younger players, right from that little age, they want to be very good. You know, they want to be as good enough as the guys that are coming in to get shirts in their team and also show that they can compete. Yeah. So it has sparked a sort of revolution for the young English guys, and it's beginning to pay dividends, because that's at the end of the day, the result of the influx of a lot of players from all over the world in the English league. This is what is happening to them, because the younger players are like, okay, if we need to get into our own teams, we need to be better. And look at what is happening now. And also, we know that the fact that the English have always been investing a lot when it comes to youth football. The final was surprising. It was England against Spain. And the fact, it was like the English were playing like the Spanish team. You know, like the Spanish teams of past. That we're going to talk about World Cup teams holding on to possession, tiki-taka passes, 1-2 passes, Phil Foden, a pure genius. The Spaniards were actually playing like the English. They were, you know, long balls, trying to mostly running and everything.
They were amazed by their performance. You know, so
they were wowed by that. It's a beautiful thing for England. Under 20, under 19 European champions, under 20 world champions, under 17 world champions. You know, the future is so bright for them, and they just have to continue this way.
Yeah, talking about the future. Before we listen to the coach, Steve Cooper. Yeah, I mean, talking about the future, can we link this in any shape or form to what to expect from the 3 Lions in Russia next year?
No, not really. The thing is, see, they are kids, you know. The only thing that this will prompt is the fact that it will give them a larger pool of talent, because if these guys keep developing like this and the ones coming after them keep developing, it just means that at the end of the day, they'll have a larger pool of talent to pick players from. Now, these players at the big stage, at the senior stage, making it, you know, transforming these things into titles might be the hard part, because we've seen it with Jose Peckerman and his Argentine team, you know, at the under-20 level, churning out lots of players, Aguero, Messi, and the likes of them, but they still haven't been able to do it on the international stage at the senior level. So it just will make them have a large pool of players where they can, you know, the talent is there and they can pick from, and maybe if they gel at one point at the senior team, then it might just work.
That's the result for you there, 5-2, 2 goals down, and they came back to win 5-2.
That's 5.
Amazing stuff. Phil Foden, the young star from Liverpool as well. So what a player.
City.
Bruce Star as well.
Bruce Star from Liverpool.
The Liverpool guy.
Yeah, you know, we saw Phil Foden during preseason at
Man City
in America.
Yeah,
he was he's a gem of a footballer.
Yeah.
You know, picking out those passes and everything. And Guardiola was waxing lyrical about the young man. And now you've seen him shine at his level.
MVP.
So, the next thing.
Want to watch out for Steve Cooper.
All right, Steve Cooper. We'll listen to him because he had a lot to say concerning these young stars, how they were able to play their hearts out to ensure that England winning the Under-17 World Cup for the very first time.
I'm speechless. The feeling is a little bit surreal. I think it might even feel a bit better tomorrow once we actually realise what we have done. The players were fantastic all through the tournament, the staff. In my opinion, worthy winners of the tournament, the way we've played, the amount of goals we've scored, that we've conceded, the football that we've played, individual talent, team identity, and character, personality, and, you know, to be 2-0 down in a World Cup, in my opinion, against the run of play, and to come back and win 5-2 tells you everything about the character of English players. It's recognition of where English football not just is, but where it can go and where we want it to go. And to think that we're the holders now of the 17s and 20s World Cup is, for me, pretty special.
Yeah, special word, that.
Yeah, you can say that again.
Cuba,
that's enough for England.
Yeah, enough for England. Now, let's come back to the Super Eagles now. The Terrible West was in our studio on Channel Sports on Sunday, And of course, about Super Eagles qualifications and the fact that we have this crop of players that really, help the team to get to this stage. Let's listen to him now.
The problem with us is that we don't have a foundation in the sports ministry or a vision. After the World Cup, what next?
What next?
Yes, that's the question. What next? So these young boys are going to go play. Thank God they qualify. The ranking of our flag as the Nigerian flag bearers now, the ranking has gone up. Our value also has gone up. I don't know if the people in the sports ministry or sports association has a vision or manifesto for the what next. We don't have that kind of structure on ground, or men who have the capacity, who know the know-how to bring it down, how they can work with the ministry and also work with footballers across the globe to make sure that after 2018 we still have a team.
Okay. All right, sport administrations, and of course, this foundation they really need to have. If you have these fantastic young players, you also need to have the structure to build on it. See what England is doing? We'll take a lead from there. Okay, now the list will be out today. Tony Bitwe says no surprises. So,
are you surprised that there are no surprises?
I am not, because we talked the fact that not just the Algeria game. The Argentina game is also coming up, so we also want to use most of our key players to prosecute that particular game. And we're talking about getting the fringe players into the start lineup for the game against Algeria. We're talking about the fringe line. We're talking about getting new players from nowhere. You understand? So I won't be surprised. I think there will be a few additions. I believe.
Yeah, from where? From where?
From all over Europe. There are players that haven't gotten into the team. So I just feel that maybe we might see one or two new names, but
I know
not wholesale changes.
Yeah,
all Nigerian players right now across Europe, everywhere, both Asia and all that, which one do you think is really doing so well that has not been invited for the Super Eagles?
In recent qualifiers,
yes,
that hasn't been invited.
Invited since Rohr came on. Yeah,
I think the guy that I can't remember his place. I think it's Standard Liège, Andres Anderson City. The midfielder, he's been playing regularly. I think it's the same club with, I think Genk, the same club with Simon. Yeah, I think he's been playing regularly for his club, and maybe, I think he got a look in at the first one or two games that General's
That's what I'm saying. So any other one that hasn't gotten a look in at all, anyone?
Yeah, I know one.
That you say that is really playing very well. Yeah, can you remember anyone?
Yeah, just off the top of my head, I mean, yeah, he hasn't been playing.
If you're thinking,
he hasn't been playing.
So that
I'm
means
talking
he's not
about
good enough.
What's his name now? Vincent Ayama. I mean, that story is
okay.
He's not going anywhere.
He's not playing.
You wanted us to move on earlier, right?
Can we now move on?
Thank you. Vincent Ayama's story today. I'm not ready for that debate here.
That means, can we talk about Peter Odewige?
It's not worth it. Okay,
let's go on. Let's go and catch up.